Okay, so what this is I'm trying to do 2D art on the 3D printer, and I've been messing around and trying to learn how to do something called lithophane. Now, that is a CYM and white process. I believe it's a subtractive color model where you would have a layer of cyan, yellow, magenta, and white that would filter through when held up to the light. The light would filter through the layers to generate the final image as you would see it on a piece of paper coming out of a printer or whatnot. And I've been struggling with that to get any decent result. And I've been using a program called HueForge to do that. And in my research, trying to understand better how to accomplish the lithophane, I saw people doing just straight up painting or illustration through the 3D printer, creating images and holiday decorations and whatnot through that, or two-dimensional or 2D. Not You're not creating a figure or anything to that effect, but just a flat piece. And I was working with the lithophane, and when I put it through the slicer would generate the HueForge STL, or create the STL, and it was taking upwards of 45 minutes or longer. And I don't have a slouch of a computer, so I figured it was just the intensity of the HueForge model, and if there was some setting I needed to adjust to make maybe the model a little smaller. The results were pretty cool from what I could see. Like I said, I couldn't get the lithophane piece to work very good, but I did try messing with the 3D painting portion of it, and it kind of was really cool. You could get some gradations and some fade effects, but I was wondering if I could make that a little more efficient and control a little tighter than what I appeared to have control over using HueForge. And I figured I would try to create a vector image on my own. I don't have any vector tools, so I messed around a little bit trying to figure out how to get a JPEG or a PNG to a vector, and found some options online that you would have to pay for or were extremely fiddly, and I just was spending way too much time just trying to get it to export the file correctly to what I wanted, and I gave up and I went straight to Blender, where I learned how to finally use the curve tool. And the curve tool presented some good options for creating vector art. I didn't know what I was doing at first. I just tried cutting a mesh with the knife tool, and that wasn't working out so good. So I charged ahead with some curves and was able to sort of pull off a rough approximation of this image, that background image, which was something I was going for, was like a techno dragonfly. And you can see me struggling with the curves here. I have no idea what I'm doing. Why is this creating all kinds of bizarre shapes? I don't really want a mouth on there because that's not going to translate into the printer very well. Anyway, I finally figured it out after watching some videos and reading some more help documents on the curves, Blender curves, the Bezier tool. They call them curves. And ended up getting a fairly decent result because you could just put those vector lines and slice them onto the three-dimensional mesh like we have here. So that presents a lot of opportunities for more exploration going forward. All right, here we go. And I'm just going to raise this up, and this will create a much more efficient model for slicing and printing. If I raise these up one layer at a time, and I can set the printing colors up like a layer cake in the slicer in Bamboo Studio, it'll create a lot easier setup for the colors and probably a lot less wear and tear on the printer, zigzagging around and swapping out colors, and a lot of that waste that comes out of the back end. All right, so you can already see kind of where I'm going with that, with those different layers and the color sets. And I'm going to set it up. I think this is going to be the final situation, but I got that background image from Stable Diffusion, running Automatic 1111 locally to create some kind of techno dragonfly. It ends up not looking very techno-y, but more of some kind of thing my mom would hang in the kitchen, I guess. And here we go. That's going to be our final result of a model that we're going to send to the printer, and we can go and see the final result. Here we are with the colors. The orange and black was the initial test run, and the blue with the translucent was something I tried again, and that's what it looks like coming through the sunlight. And all in all, I like it better than the lithophane at the moment. I wish I could pull off the lithophane. I'll keep working on it and see what I can come up with. But the possibility for future projects is definitely visible by trying this out, and we'll see what we can come up with going forward. All right, thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later.